Today we're talking about types of characters. First, we have the protagonist. This is who the story is about. It's usually the good guy or the person you're most interested in. Then we have the antagonist. This is the person who is anti or against the protagonist. It's usually the bad guy. In the movie Batman, the good guy, or the protagonist, is Batman. Even though he breaks the law, we know he's the good guy and we want him to win. The antagonist, or the bad guy, is the Joker. No one wants him to win, because if he did, it would mean the collapse of Gotham. There are different kinds of characters. Dynamic characters change as a result of the story events. An example of a dynamic character is Harry Potter. Over the course of the series, Harry grows and changes more than anyone else. The static characters don't change very much at all. An example of this is Ron Weasley. He doesn't really change, but we know he's reliable. A round character is someone who has several, often contradictory character traits and seems very realistic. Hermione Granger is a good example of a round character. This character has a lot of conflicting traits. Her parents are both muggles, yet she is a wizard. She has high standards for school, but doesn't have a problem breaking the rules to get a good grade. She's the only girl in her group, and she isn't boy crazy. We have flat characters. These are usually minor characters with one or two interesting character traits and are generally unimportant. And we have stock characters. A stock character is a flat character that is so recognizable the reader can assume certain character traits, like the busy business executive who has no time for anyone other than work. An example of a stock character from the Harry Potter series might be Dumbledore. Most headmasters are very powerful people and have a lot of rules, and the buck stops with them. Just like in the Harry Potter series, Dumbledore has a lot of rules, and everyone knows they have to listen to him. We have major characters who are essential to the story, and we have secondary characters who move the plot along but aren't who the story is about. There's also different kinds of characterization. Characterization is the word we use when we mean how the narrator tells us about a character. Direct characterization tells us about the character, exactly what the narrator wants us to know. It will say something like, Jim is a good boy. Indirect characterization shows us details so we can figure it out. Indirect characterization might be when we see Jim being helpful to an old lady who needs to cross the street. That's indirect characterization. We can infer that Jim is a good boy because he's helping the old lady. Now, when you read your next literary piece, you should be able to tell what kinds of characters you are reading about.
Created using Powtoon.